YouTube Buzzik going. The Goat House is back. We got bold predictions for Week 14 of the NFL season sent in by you guys through our Twitter. Always doing this every Thursday, and if you want to play along, again, go follow that Twitter link down below. There's live talk during games on there. There's live NFL updates, in-season, off-season. Same thing goes for the channel content in both in-season and the off-season. So join us, like, subscribe, turn notifications on. We much appreciate it. Let's check out these bold predictions. Zachary Brenner, Vikings finally win by multiple touchdowns. Every game's close for the Vikings. I think that's pretty piping. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to happen. Especially tonight, Thursday Night Football. I picked the Steelers to win. It could go either way. Vegas apparently knows something because the Vikings are surprisingly favored. Vikings just don't play well on prime time. I think Kirk Cousins has got that labeled too because he doesn't have a pretty good record on prime time, but I think the Vikings in general over the last several years have just not performed well, the entire team for the most part. So asking a lot here. Something they haven't done yet this year. They're playing pretty poorly right now. The defense is playing pretty bad. Asking a bit. You're asking a lot here. It'd be pretty funny if they won by multiple touchdowns. They finally did it, and it was a primetime game, which they just can't win right after losing to the Lions with a lot of injuries. It'd be pretty funny, I would think. Losing to the Vikings in prime time is almost like losing to the Lions. So if the Steelers lose to the Steelers tied the Lions. The Steelers lose to the Vikings in prime time, we almost can. Well, and the Vikings beat them. I think we got to start giving the Steelers shit for losing to the Vikings in prime time. We can forget about the whole Vikings losing the Lions thing. I don't think that's how it works, but I'm going to roll with that. Ethan, Browns get it together, and Chubb and Hunt find the end zone. The Browns should get it together. I keep talking about it all week. They kind of got a gift in the scheduling where they played the Ravens. They had a bye, much needed bye because they needed some guys to get some rest, and mainly Baker Mayfield. But multiple guys. And then they play the Ravens again. So you're kind of preparing for the same team. It's kind of fresh in your mind how they play. You can easily adjust. And you just watch the Ravens play a physical game against the Steelers and lost their star corner, Marlon Humphrey. So the Browns they better get it together. Chubb and Hunt find the end zone. Hunt I know everybody was well aware he's very good and he's very important to the team. I think he's even more important to the Browns offense than people will say. And people will say he's pretty damn important. I think he's even more important than what we're talking about here. So maybe it's good to kind of get him going back, getting in his groove here. I'm gonna say it's happening. I picked the Browns. They gotta win this game. You get a gift in the scheduling. Ravens are beat up. No Marlon Humphrey. They're missing both their star corners. Browns got that rest. I feel a Chubb. I really feel a Chubb and a Hunt touchdown in this game. I'm gonna say it's happening. Maybe that's bold on me there, but we're gonna see. I'm kind of feeling it. Santee, Trevon Diggs gets number 10 on the season, so the 10th interception. Playing a Washington football team, the red-hot Washington football team. Heineke's playing a lot better. Does have you got some turnover-worthy throws there, obviously. One dropped last week that could have ended the game. Diggs doesn't really drop those. I'm going to say it's happening. I'm thinking he's getting one. It might be pretty bold that I'm saying that, but, he's got 9 on the year. He's got 9. I feel it. I think it's coming. Maybe they throw away from him, though. Maybe they just mainly run the ball. Maybe I'm getting too carried away. Maybe we're going to call it realistic. It's definitely very realistic. Definitely. Number 10. Got number 9 last week. I think I got a feeling he does it. I don't know. I think he does it. Sports fan, a Niners running back has at least 100-yard game. Even if it isn't Mitchell, it will be Jermichael Hasty. Yeah, I'm thinking Mitchell is not going to play. He could. He could. I'm not the injury guy, but I'm thinking he's probably out of this game. So it's going to be Wilson, who's also questionable, but I think he'll play. I believe Wilson will play. Could be wrong again, not the injury guy, but I think Wilson will play, and you have Hasty as well. 100-yard. Yeah, I think this is pretty tough. I'm not going to say piping. I'll say hot. First off, it's a good one because the Bengals got a really good run defense. And Elijah Mitchell's clearly their best running back, the 49ers, that is. And if he's out, you would think the Bengals would stay pretty stout there. But two things that could prove that wrong is Logan Wilson, stud linebacker for the Bengals, is out. So does that, looking at a linebacker here that stops the run at pretty high level. Yeah, maybe, their run defense takes a hit. How much will affect it? It's going to be determined here. On top of that, the 49ers running game is kind of a different animal. Because, they when it's on, it's not always on, though. But when it's on, it is on. It's one of the best in football. It's just physical, tough to stop. So maybe it's something the Bengals haven't really seen too much of here, and they're without Logan Wilson. So I do think it's somewhat possible why I can't do piping. But again, Mitchell out. I think Wilson would be the guy, but when he's been the guy, he hasn't looked this year, I guess, which has been very, very limited, or when he's got the chances, it's been very limited. But he hasn't looked all that great, and he has the injury concern. So, like you said, it could be hasty here. That's an interesting one. 49ers tough run offense versus that Bengals stout run defense is going to be an interesting matchup. I think that's hot, though. Hot take. Chargers continue their inconsistency and lose to the Giants. The Chargers got to win this one, right? They've been so inconsistent back and forth. You think they're great. Okay, what a game. They're back. They're great, and then they lose, and then they're back, and then they lose, and they lose to the Broncos. They got dominated by the Broncos. A very tough defense, not too much offense there. Drew Lock even got some action in that game at one point. And the Giants, really no offense and a pretty damn good defense. So could it happen again? It could. I'm not going to say piping, but I'm going to say hot just because – man, you're going against, it's either going to be Glennon or Fromm. I'm trying to figure out which one would be better. I think Glennon would be better, honestly, because, you might as well go Fromm, see what he's got, see if you think he has upside. But who would be better? Fromm just signed with the team a week ago. It's going to be tough. It's going to be going against the Chargers playmaking defense. He might turn the ball over a lot. I just don't think the Giants will score enough in this game. I could see them slowing down the Chargers offense. Sure, Giants got a great defense. If the Chargers lose this one, they are the ultimate. I'm picking them to win every other week. We're going to pick them to win next week, then lose next week, something similar to that. It'd be pretty wild. But again, I keep talking about the Giants could beat them if they just come out pounding the football. They might be able to run all over them with Saquon Barkley. They're going to have to do that. So. But I would imagine that's what makes it easier with Fromm, too, because Fromm doesn't have too much of a, not that Glennon's good. He's not good throwing downfield, but he can throw downfield. Fromm is a little bit of a question. Can he throw downfield? So I think if he's in, they're stacking the box. We're going to stop the run. We're going to run blitz, So that makes it pretty tough, even on the running game there. We'll see. But I do recommend for the Giants to come out running the football. Hopefully they get the ball for their sake, get the ball first. From 10, Tennessee 0417, Julio not only gets his first touchdown as a Titan, but also has over 100 yards receiving in his comeback game. Man, this is one of those ones where I kind of can see it. I'm about to go piping, but I'm going to go hot. It's one of those where it's like kind of realistic, but it's pretty hot at the same time. And that's because, Julio's still a very solid receiver when he's healthy and on the field. And, they need a receiver to step up here with him and A.J. Brown out. He's back. So, that could be the guy to step up here. But I don't know if they force a lot to him. I wouldn't, if he did this, that'd be like good. But did he kind of get beat up in the making, during this performance, because you're playing against the Jaguars. I think they feed him early in this game. I think they get him going early, and what they want to do is because they understand they lost to the Texans and the Jets. They understand that there's no free wins. I definitely think the Titans got to understand that by now. So they come out and they try to put some points on the board using a guy like Julio because he's by far their best receiver in this game. But I think they want to get to the point where they don't have to use him as much anymore because if you overdo it with him, he's going to, the hamstring injury, going to sneak back up on him, whatever. It could be something new as well. So I don't know if it would be a good thing. It's one of those where it's a good thing. You got 100 yards, touchdown, great. Julio's back. Going to feel good about that. But it's like, hopefully we didn't wear him down there because that's a legitimate concern right now. He's still got the talent when he's healthy on the field. That's a legitimate concern. So I don't know if they want to force that much. If they're going to do it early, I think, in the game. Not like force him intentionally, but use him. He's the best option out there. But if the game stays close, then he might have to do something like this. I just hope he stays healthy. Last one here from MCFC MMB. Josh Allen outplays Tom Brady and single-handedly carries the Bills to a win in Tampa. So I'm really feeling, I could be wrong, but it's a bold pick. I'm really feeling the Bills over the Bucs this week. I think Josh Allen has a lights-out game. So I'm on board there. Josh Allen outplays Tom Brady. Bills win. I'm saying that's happening. But then the party snuck in here, kind of a two-parter here. The party snuck in here was single-handedly carries the Bills. I'm going to say that part's hot. So we kind of got a two-parter here. So hopefully people don't skim through. It's a weird video if you're skimming through it. I predicted, doesn't mean it's happening, obviously. Josh Allen plays very well, and I think he beats the Buccaneers and outplays Tom Brady. Close, but outplays him. I think that's happening. I don't think he single-handedly carries the Bills, though. He could. I don't think that's, it could be. That's how I was saying in my prediction. Like, I could see this being a shootout in the Bills win. I could see it being kind of low scoring, maybe kind of similar to the Washington-Tampa Bay game not too long ago, a few weeks ago, where the Bills defense, I think the Bills defense would be clutch in this game because Tampa hasn't really seen too many defenses like this. They've seen Washington's. I think it's pretty similar to Washington's actually. The way Washington's playing right now since when they played Tampa. And the Bills statistically have a better defense. Overall have a better defense this year. So I do think they can kind of give him some problems, nothing crazy. So I don't think it'll be single-handedly. Especially factoring in a guy like Stephon Diggs. I think Knox can have a bounce-back game because he had a pretty poor game last game. So I definitely don't think it'll be single-handedly. It could be. That's pretty tough for it to be because especially if he's just going off, one of those targets got to be stepping up. So I'm looking forward to that game, though, because I kind of been feeling this one for a few weeks. I saw this one coming on the schedule. I kind of been feeling it. Usually I get those ones. Usually when I'm feeling it beforehand and I stick with it, usually I get those ones. But we'll see. The Bills haven't beaten anybody good since, the Chiefs, and the Chiefs were playing bad then. So I don't know if the Bills have beaten anybody good here. So that's kind of they need that statement win here. And I think they got a great opportunity to get it. I like the matchup for them. But that is going to wrap up our bold predictions, your guys' bold predictions of Week 14. Make sure you follow Twitter to play along and really keeping you guys involved there. A lot of live updates. So check it out. Link down below. Link down below for recent videos. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on me. Much, much appreciated. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.